It's time once again to get down to some super-powered pummeling on another round of Grudge Match, the show that grabs contestants from their homeworlds and brings them together for physical confrontations of epic proportions. Today's show is going after two of the vilest villains around. From DC, the immortal Batman baddie, Ra's al Ghul, and from Marvel, the generational Nazi mastermind, Baron Zemo. And both of these characters have been behind-the-scene threats to the entire world in one way or another for centuries on end. Both have plans and designs of world domination, and also both tend to fall back on their physical abilities when absolutely necessary in order to take out their respective arch-nemesis, in Ra's al Ghul's case Batman, and in Baron Zemo's case Captain America. Taking a look at Ra's al Ghul first, character first created in 1971, is over 600 years old because of his finding and ability to use the Lazarus pits. These are naturally occurring pits of various chemicals, and when a recently deceased body or an old decrepit body is placed within them, it can bring them back to life, make them younger, revitalize them, and heighten their physical abilities. So Ra's has been using these Lazarus pits for many generations and keeps coming back to life and keeps himself young and vital, intelligent, physically in his prime, so that he can continue on with his life's work of eliminating all of humanity. Ra's al Ghul is an eco-terrorist, and he sees all of humanity as a blight on the planet, and he wants to wipe out all of humankind, or at least severely reduce the population of the planet so that the natural world can come back into prominence. Now, Ra's al Ghul primarily uses various schemes and machinations to accomplish his goals, and he also is the leader of a very powerful shadow organization known as the League of Assassins, and using this, as well as using finances, business acumen, and various other types of schemes, he uses these as his primary tools to try to accomplish his goals of taking down most of the population of the Earth. But he's not against falling back on his physical skills, which have also been enhanced due to the effects of the Lazarus pits. He has enhanced physical abilities, including strength, speed, agility, durability, healing, not so much in real superhuman levels, but all very, very high and about at peak human efficiency or slightly above peak human efficiency, despite his advanced years. And he also is a master swordsman, and this tends to be one of the primary ways he utilizes his fighting skills when he has to get involved in a physical confrontation. He almost always has a sword with him, and he breaks that out and uses his very, very advanced sword fighting skills when in conflict with his enemies. Baron Helmut Zemo was first created as a character in 1973, though the Baron Zemo moniker does go back even further than that in Marvel Comics. Baron Zemo is the 13th of the Baron Zemos, so it is a generational title, and there have been Baron Zemos going back many, many generations in the Marvel Universe. He's a Nazi scientist and warlord, and he was raised to believe that Nazi ideals are the best ideals of all of humanity, and also raised as an aristocrat and raised to think that the Zemos were the best of the best of humanity, and that he has every right to rule over all of humanity just because of who he is, a Zemo, and the most intelligent and the best equipped to rule the whole world. So Baron Zemo is always striving for global domination. He has an enhanced physiology due to his exposure to a chemical known as Compound X, something that his father, the 12th Baron Zemo, created and utilized back during World War II. This gives Baron Zemo an extended lifespan, very slowed aging process, and also keeps his body at practically peak human efficiency as well, also not quite to the superhuman levels, but enough that he is able to be a comparable physical match for the superhero he most commonly fights against, Captain America. He also is a very proficient swordsman, and though he is a scientist who often uses high technology in his schemes for global domination, when it comes to one-on-one confrontations and fighting, he will very often fall back on breaking out a sword as his primary go-to weapon against an enemy. So despite the genius-level intellects of both of these characters and their propensity to use henchmen and very in-depth machinations to try to accomplish their goals, any one-on-one confrontation between them can easily be seen as going to come down to a sword fight between them. So having taken a look at the backstories, histories, skills, and abilities of these two villains, it's time to determine who would win if they were to ever clash sword to sword to determine the winner. And that winner's going to be Ra's al Ghul. The Demon's Head, enemy of Batman and leader of the League of Assassins, is going to take home the win of this grudge match because, as stated, it will come down to a crossing of swords between these two characters, and while both of them have enhanced physical skills and both of them are absolute experts at the art of sword fighting, Ra's al Ghul has over 600 years of sword fighting experience under his belt. Baron Zemo has many years. He is much older than he actually appears due to the Compound X that he uses, but he was still only born in the 40s at the latest, so he does not have near the amount of experience and tactical skills with the sword that Ra's al Ghul has developed over his 6 centuries of life. Ra's al Ghul may find Baron Zemo to be the most proficient sword fighter he's ever crossed swords with, but ultimately, Ra's al Ghul's skills are going to trump Baron Zemo's. Now, Baron Zemo is also very fond of using various technological weaponry when he needs to, but only as a means of last resort, and most likely would just allow him to cause some kind of a distraction to leave the situation before Ra's al Ghul could deliver a killing blow and live to fight another day, as that is how he often extricates himself from conflicts with Captain America, where they end up fighting sword to shield, and Captain America triumphs. Baron Zemo will bring out some kind of flashbang grenade or something to cause a distraction so he can escape. So it may not end up with a death in this battle, but Ra's al Ghul, either way, will be taking home the win of this grudge match. So message me down below, let me know what you think of the outcome of this fight, and as always, any suggestions for future matchups. We'll see you next time on the next edition of Grudge Match.